Welcome back. We have begun to solve the riddle of Le Serpent Rouge. And the first verse suggested we should lay down the path of Ra, and Grace said that it would be a good idea to look up Ra in the database of Sydney. So let's try and do that. Egyptian gods, Ra. Ra is usually represented as a man with the head of a bird. He is god of the sun, and his number is 6. And apparently that's from source 70, the Schattenjäger Archives. Doesn't tell me an awful lot. Maybe Grace is able to do more with it though, and we can tell if she's able to do more with it by thinking on the verse again. That's basically just a good idea for this puzzle if you're trying to solve it yourself, and whenever you're stuck, try and think the verse. If you've done something new, Grace may have something new to say.
I lay down the path of Ra. Ra is god of the sun. The path of the sun? The path of light, perhaps.
The path of the sun? The sunrise line. Has to be it, right? On July 22nd of each year, the feast day of Saint Mary Magdalen, if one stands at the church at dawn and turns toward Château de Blanchefort, the sun will rise directly over the ruins, forming a straight line of light between the two. There are those who claim that the alignment and consecration of this site and others in the valley were plotted long ago, perhaps even by early Celtic inhabitants. That's also what Arnaud suggested, that the church and chateau were both built on older ruins. Could that be the sunrise line?
Sunrise line. On the feast day of Saint Mary Magdalen. I wonder if that's the path of Ra.
Now the question is, how do we check that? Luckily, we have a map. Gabriel scanned it earlier, and we can use it by using the Analyze option. Got the map from Magdalen's room. Not that that matters, just matters that it's a map of this area, and we're going to use it. Of course, there's not much use to us in this form, but we can start analysis. Image is recognized as a map. Well done, Sydney. Correspondences and patterns are not readily apparent with such a volume of points. To analyze regions or relationships between objects on map, use Enter Points to select objects, then start analysis to analyze relationship. So we have the whole map on the right and a zoomed in portion on the left here. Currently it's looking at Cuisa. And certain points of interest are indicated on the map, like the just barely visible here is a red cross indicating a church, probably. I doubt that's going to be very visible in the video, but trust me, it's there. Can't really tell what a train station is, though I guess the dotted line is the train line. It seems to follow the course of the train anyway. You can simply click on the map on the right here to change the zoom. Rennes Le Bain, that's where the cafe is. Rennes Le Chateau is where we are. And we can see here another one of those red crosses, so I guess that is where the church of the Saint Magdalen is. So that and Chateau Blanchefort could perhaps be our path of Ra. Well, the way this works, like the description said, is we can use this option here to enter points and then see if it forms anything. We can also add shapes. We'll need to do that later, but not right now, or draw grids. All of this stuff we will need at some point. But right now we just want to enter points, and let's add a point at the church. You can see it both here and on the larger map. And the chateau, there's an icon here indicating the chateau, so let's put a point there. Now, to see if you're on the right track, what you always want to do is have Sydney analyze it.
Very cool.
A straight line marked between the 2 points intersects with meridian and point arc, or I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that. That's here. And the Paris meridian, which I guess intersects Paris, would make the most sense. And it seems to lie between Poussin's tomb and Chateau de Serre. I wonder what any of this means. Is the treasure on this line? Does the line point towards the treasure? Does it have nothing to do with the treasure? Is it just a guide to someone's lunch? I mean, the whole thing that this riddle is supposed to indicate where the treasure is just a rumor, isn't it? We don't really know for certain. But in any case, we've made a start, and we found this line, and hopefully it will help with something. Okay, so we've solved the first verse, so that's darkened now, and the next verse is lit up to indicate that that is what we're working on next. And yes, we're going to have to do all of them, but not all at once. There will be a couple of breaks in between, otherwise it would get boring, I guess. Although I do find this riddle very interesting myself. This is one of my favorite puzzles in the entire game, the whole riddle thing. Let's read the second verse.
I was further aided by the parchments of my friend. They murmur of the lady. Long ago her name was Isis, queen of the benevolent springs. Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Others knew her as Magdalen with the celebrated vows of healing balm. The initiated knew her to be the Lady of the Lake and Notre Dame de Cross. The circle is the ring, and the crown forms the diadem of the queen of the castle.
Again, quite vague. Let's see what Grace thinks of it.
There are 4 statues of Magdalen with the skull and 4 names for Magdalen given in Pisces: Isis, Magdalen, Lady of the Lake, and Notre Dame de Cross. And the part about the circle forms the ring. It must be talking about locating the treasure geographically. Maybe there's some circle around here.
Perhaps. Well, the obvious thing to do is, like I said before, there's some capitalized terms in here. Let's search those on Sydney. Start with Isis. Isis was the most important Egyptian goddess, wife of Osiris and mother to Horus and all of creation. The cult of Isis was widespread in Greece and Rome also, until overrun by Christianity. According to Egyptian legend, Osiris was murdered and cut into many pieces. Isis gathered the pieces and put them back together, healing Osiris and reviving him. Isis was also believed to have given birth to the sun, Ra. Her symbol was the circle. Okay, so that's the circle coming back as well as Ra. But what does that have to do with the Magdalene? Let's search for Magdalene. Mary Magdalene was a follower of Jesus during his lifetime. She was the sister of Lazarus, whom Jesus raised from the dead, and Martha. According to St. Luke, she was a notorious sinner, and tradition has gradually woven that into a reputation for prostitution, though no direct reference to this is made in the New Testament. The most famous story involving Mary Magdalene is the tale of how she washed Jesus' feet with her tears, dried them with her hair, and anointed them with balm. For this Jesus prayed her love of God. The Gospels also have Mary Magdalene present at Jesus' crucifixion and at the empty tomb when the angels announce his resurrection. After the crucifixion, it is said that Mary sailed to the shores of southern France. Her body is believed to rest in a church near Marseille. Okay. We also have Lady of the Lake. Wait, isn't that from the Legend of King Arthur? The Lady of the Lake is a mysterious female goddess of spirit who rose from the lake in order to hand King Arthur the sword, Excalibur. See, I did remember that correctly. Excalibur was a magical sword that gave Arthur the power to rule a kingdom. In that sense, the Lady of the Lake could be regarded as muse or guardian of Arthur. Her purpose and origins remain a mystery, but some stories have also linked her to the Grail, which King Arthur was to pursue in later quests. And there was the Notre Dame des Crosses, which is apparently not found. Or is it without... It's not plural, maybe? Okay, yes. That links to Mary. The mother of Jesus is revered by Catholics around the world. In 431 AD, she was declared to be holy. In 1854, Pope Pius IX stated that Mary was a virgin birth. Pope Pius XII designed Mary Queen of Heaven and Queen of the World. She has recently been granted the title of co-redemptrix, whatever that means. Some of this raising up of Mary to a position of goddess-like power has offended Protestant religions, who believe that Mary was only human, and that she had other children with her husband Joseph, after Jesus' virgin birth. None of this makes the cult of Mary any less mysterious and dynamic within Catholicism, gaining the highest adherents, including the current Pope, John Paul II. Over the centuries, Mary has appeared in a number of sightings, particularly in the past 100 years, at such places as Lourdes, but however you pronounce this, Medjugorje, and Fatima. These places have become shrines where thousands go for healing or for pilgrimage. Mary is often thought to involve herself more directly in human affairs, even perhaps to become a kind of guardian spirit over those who have been faithful in her service. Mary has been known by various titles, including Queen of the World, Queen of Heaven, Mother of God, the Blessed Virgin, the Holy Mother, and the Immaculate Conception. Okay. But according to the riddle, these were all names for the Magdalen, which is kind of weird. Another source of information on the Magdalen we have is, of course, a pamphlet, which mentions the 4 statues there are.
Okay, let's see. There are 4 statues and 4 names for Magdalen in Pisces. I have a feeling those statues are important, but is it the statues themselves or their location that matters?
Well, if we're working on the idea that the verse is talking about locating the treasure geographically, then it could be the locations. Saint-Just-et-le-Bézu, Bucarest, and Custosa. So maybe those locations are important. The 4th one is, of course, in a church, which we've already marked on the map. Let's see if we can find those other 4 places on the map. Now, you either just need to click a lot or read in squint-o-vision. I think Saint-Just-et-le-Bézu is here, and there is indeed a church there, so I guess that's the location of the statue. So let's add some more points. 1 there. Here's Bucarest and another church. And the last one was Custosa. And I've forgotten where that is. Ah, no. There it is. Okay. So we have 4 points. Well, 5 if we want to count that one. 4 for the statues. And there's supposed to be a circle, so maybe if we can get a circle to intersect with all of those points. Well, obviously we can't make a circle including this point, but that's not where one of the statues is. So let's try just making a circle that intersects with these points. So let's add a circle to the map. Resize it and move it.
Oh, incredible! It's Magdalen's crown. I'll write those coordinates down. It looks like they're at L'Ermitage.
Okay. Very interesting. Image confirmed. The 4 points are linked perfectly by a circle. Coordinates at circle center are 2 degrees, 18 minutes, 47 seconds long, 42 degrees, 55 minutes, 56 seconds latitude. Okay, and that's apparently at L'Hermitage. Looks like it. Of course, going to L'Hermitage now and randomly looking around isn't going to accomplish much. Plus, also, Grace has no method of getting around the area, unless we steal Gabriel's bike. Also note that the circle intersects the meridian at the same place as the Path of Ra, further indicating that we are on the right track. You also heard the clock sound. That means something is happening somewhere. Let's see if we can figure out what it is.
I'm ready. Does anyone want to go out? We could drive to the bar at Rennes-le-Bain.
Sure.
What about Grace?
Oh, she's busy with her research. She'll be in the room for... Oh, hey, Grace. Want to go to Rennes-les-Bains with us?
No, thank you.
See, told ya.
Maybe I'll hang out too.
We need you, right, Magdalen?
Of course. Do come with us, please.
All right. Grace, see ya.
Don't work too hard. Get some dinner.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you bet. Jerk.
Buonanotte, signori Vaza.
Good evening.
Would you care for some wine?
No, thank you. I may have some water in a bit.
Okay. Strangely, I get the feeling that Gabriel's more interested in not giving Mosley and Grace some private time rather than actually going out with Magdalen. I don't know what these two are up to.
At least Bukele has Emilio to keep him company.
And his wine.
I don't have anything brilliant to say to them at the moment.
Well, you can say something stupid. Interesting wine glass.
At least Bukele has Emilio to keep him company. I don't have anything brilliant to say to them at the moment.
Okay, okay. Anything else happening around here? I guess our two lady friends are having dinner.
They still look a little shook up from this afternoon.
Who can blame them?
How you feeling, Lady Howard? Better, I hope.
Oh, don't remind me. Such horrors! One takes a vacation for ease, for comfort. What does one find? Horrors!
Don't think about it, Lily.
I'm sorry. How's dinner? The tomato sauce smells divine.
Oh, I do believe I'll be ill.
Lily, please. Have some water, there's a good girl. Thank you for stopping by, Miss Nakamura.
Sure. Sorry. Bye.
Did you do that on purpose, Grace? Probably not. Okay. Nothing else going on here, so I guess we'll return to our room and continue working on this confounded riddle. But we'll have to do so in the next video.